All right, Mark. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this new Briksdal Mountain SF and why we designed and developed this boot and who it's designed for?
Okay. This is a boot that we've had in our lineup for a couple of years in production and in development and in testing. The Briksdal SF has been a fantastic boot for us. It's our new buck leather boot. It's black and orange. That's what most people would recognize. It's a 5 flex. It's very stiff. Has a nylon stretch tongue in it. It breathes well. As we started looking across the board at our dealers, we started looking at the people that were buying this boot and where they were using it. We realized very quickly that there were a few things that consumer wanted. They wanted a boot that dried out quickly.
Okay.
They wanted a boot that was light. They wanted a boot that was breathable. And so we actually, for 2023, we've made this boot, the Briksdal Mountain SF, we've made it a microfiber synthetic, which really does all three of those things. It dries out quickly, it's lightweight, and it's super breathable. And so it's a 5 flex. This boot specifically for 2023 has not changed. Fit and feel is exactly the same. The only thing that we've done is we've changed the upper.
Right.
So from a nubuck leather to a microfiber synthetic.
Got it. And so you're saying the benefits of that are breathability, right? It dries quick, and it's lighter.
Correct.
Okay. So when you're talking about the person that's going to be using this boot, the hunter that's going to be using this, Lars, who is that hunter?
Yeah, so this is geared towards the mountain hunter for sure. So if you're going on a sheep hunt in those early season times like August, September, you're going to be wearing this boot. Or even geared towards just like if you're in any steep mountain terrain and scree, boulder fields, anything like that, where you're in those warmer temperatures, where you're just looking for something that's going to dry out extremely fast, extremely lightweight, this would definitely be for that application.
I think it's also for guys that they know what they're after.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's specifically a guy that knows that he loves a mountaineering style boot. You know, we're not a mountaineering company. We're a hunting company. That's why we've, the outsole that we run on this boot does not have a flat surface on it.
Right.
And that guy is looking for a specific fit and an adjustable fit based on loads, based on ascents, side hillings, descents, things like that. And so with this asymmetrical lacing that we have in this, it is a mountaineering type of fit. It's a glove type of fit, but they know exactly what they're after. They know they want a stiff boot. They know they're going to spend, time on, steep terrain, rocky terrain, and they want something that will give them support and not flex underneath their foot.
Yeah. That's great. Now, Mark, tell me a little bit about the break-in period. I know one of the guys that have been running this boot, he flew halfway across the world, just grabbed these boots and put them on. But to the average consumer, what's the break-in period? Do we need to concern ourselves about the break-in period, or what does that look like now? Because this is a synthetic boot versus leather. So what do you think on that break-in on that boot?
Crispi, in almost all of our footwear, is known for fit and feel.
Right.
We don't put a mileage restraint on it. We don't put any sort of things. Our experience is that you can wear our boots for the most part right out of the box, and this boot is no different.
Okay. Great.
When you put this boot on, like if you think, we see guys all the time, they put it on and they try to flex it. Like, man, how long is it going to take to break in? Well, this boot doesn't necessarily flex.
Right.
It's all about, I think, your foot being really conditioned for the boot, especially a stiffer boot like this. If you're used to wearing, flip-flops, or you're wearing, boots that aren't very stiff, and all of a sudden you go to a stiff boot, boy, you're going to feel like, boy, this thing never breaks in. But for the most part, guys that wear boots a lot, they put this on, they understand that this boot is not a boot that really flexes. It just goes with your foot. It's not going to take long to break it down. I mean, every guy that has tested this boot, that over the years, there again, we don't get a lot of bad feedback on this specific boot because they know what they're buying and it fits them very, very well.
Yeah, that's one thing that stood out to me as we talked to the testers, how they have had favorite Crispi boots, and they're these are the only boots I'm ever gonna wear. These are the only, and then they put this boot on, sometimes maybe a little reluctantly, and they wear it, and now it's like, this is my favorite boot.
Yeah. It's been interesting. I've had a boot in my office for almost 7 years.
Yeah.
That basically mimics this boot, so to speak, and it's yellow.
Yeah.
And everybody that would walk in my office would say, "Boy, that's sure an ugly boot." I'm like, "You're right. I know it is.
Yeah.
But you should try it on."
Yep.
And every person that puts it on is like, "Wow, this is so comfortable." They may or may not be used to the flex, but the way it fits is really it's really unique, and it fits very, very well.
Yeah. Yeah. So this boot is going to be a great boot for anybody that is looking for those sheep, goat hunts, Rocky Mountain elk, mule deer, chuckers. Like the list can go on and on and on. It's a great lightweight, stiff. It's a 5 flex, very breathable, lightweight, durable, and it will dry extremely fast. So we're excited to launch this new Briksdal Mountain SF in 2023.